Let's see. What should I do for my 200th episode? I mean, I did Life Force for my 100th episode, and how the hell do you top naked space vampires and Steve Railsback making out with Patrick Stewart? There's a bunch of movies I could do, like Flash Gordon, Heavy Metal, Fritz the Cat, the 1976 King Kong. But I might as well be honest. Going by the comments, I think I know what kind of movie everyone wants me to do. So on that note, a milestone like my 200th episode means that I need to finally get to a movie that people have been waiting for a long time. Godzilla Final Wars. Oh, wait, did you think I meant that other Godzilla movie people have been waiting for? No, I'm gonna keep putting that one off. Who knows, maybe I'll get to it in another 200 episodes. Alright, even if this isn't quite the Godzilla movie people were expecting, trust me, I needed to wait until I reached a milestone to do this one. Released in 2004, Godzilla Final Wars was the last film in the Millennium Godzilla series, which began 5 years earlier with Godzilla 2000. Now, because I'm skipping ahead several movies from the last Godzilla video I did, some of you may be wondering, wait a second, isn't this going to be confusing since I haven't covered the other Millennium Godzilla films yet? Well, not to worry, because this movie has almost nothing to do with the other films in the series. In fact, even if I did cover them, you still might be confused. Intended as a celebration of Godzilla's 50th anniversary, the film's premiere in Los Angeles even coincided with Godzilla getting a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And with a budget of almost $20 million, it was the most expensive Japanese-produced Godzilla film ever made at the time. In addition to celebrating Godzilla's 50th anniversary, Final Wars was also supposedly intended to be the last Godzilla film that Toho was ever going to make. But then again, they said the same thing about Destroy All Monsters, and we all know how that turned out. Toho saying a Godzilla movie's gonna be the last one is kinda like when Kiss goes on a farewell tour. No matter what they say, they're probably gonna be back. Needless to say, expectations for the movie were high, but rather than hire a veteran of the series to direct it, Toho instead chose Ryuhei Kitamura, who previously made the bonkers cult film Versus. Hiring a brash young director like Kitamura was intended to breathe some new life into Godzilla, but it resulted in arguably the most divisive film in the entire series. I'm not joking, fans seem to either love this one or hate it. You want to see G-fans argue? Get them into a room and ask their opinion on Final Wars. Eventually, they'll separate into teams and start fighting like they're in a Godzilla movie. And if you're wondering why fans are so split on this one, here's another clip from Versus. Yeah, with a director like that, it was pretty much inevitable that G-fans were going to be split on this movie. So we begin at the South Pole, where a flying submarine with a drill on the end of it is busy fighting Godzilla. My grandparents celebrated their 50th anniversary the same way. The flying sub thingy is called the Gotengo, and actually first appeared in the 1963 movie Atragon, which didn't feature Godzilla. And get ready for more references like that, because this whole thing could basically be called Fan Service the Movie. Seriously, this is like the Avengers Infinity War of monster movies, except it didn't make nearly as much money. These guys are really taking a risk here. Usually submarines at the beginning of Godzilla movies don't make it very far. Although in this case, it helps that all the water around him is frozen. Okay, that's not the end. Instead, we get some stock footage from other kaiju movies, although thankfully not as much as that other Godzilla movie people were probably expecting me to do for this episode. Anyway, they explain that in order to combat the massive amount of giant monsters that have popped up, the world's governments created the Earth Defense Forces, who by the looks of it are also a J-pop group.
Mutant humans with remarkable physical abilities were being discovered all over the world. The Earth Defense Forces recruited these mutant humans and formed them into a special unit, the M Organization.
The M stands for Kaiju.
Their mission was to destroy the #1 enemy, the King of Monsters that appeared in 1954. Its name is John Cena!
Okay, this movie doesn't have John Cena, but it does have UFC fighter Don Frye, who kinda looks like what would happen if Tom Selleck played the Incredible Hulk instead of Lou Ferrigno. Frye plays Captain Gordon, who's currently in command of a new version of the Gotengo and battling Manda, a monster that also first appeared in Atragon. And in case you haven't seen Atragon and are wondering what the hell's going on, a former MMA fighter in a flying super submarine is fighting a dragon inside a volcano at the bottom of the ocean. So far, this seems pretty easy to follow to me. Don Frye may be a good fighter, but how the hell is he gonna beat Manda?
Fire phaser.
Oh hey, he just turned Manda into a collectible figure. Well, now you just ruined the value. Despite taking care of Manda, not everyone's happy with Captain Gordon.
Captain Gordon,
Shit.
you almost lost the ship back there. This time you won't be able to escape court-martial.
Court-martial? Bitch, I just blew up a dragon! By the way, that's Kumi Mizuno, who you might recognize from a ton of other Japanese monster movies. Nice that they were able to get her to come back for this, considering it looks like she got Me Too'd by both directors and Godzilla back in the 60s. One thing I should point out is that this movie has a very early 2000s post-Matrix style to it, with lots of wire-fu fight scenes in gaudy colors. And if you think I'm exaggerating, watch this. It's almost like if one of those Matrix wannabe movies like Equilibrium and Ultraviolet had giant monsters in them, which now that I think about it, would have made those movies a lot better. You know, as crazy as this movie's been so far, it's still less jumbled than the Matrix sequels.
If this were real, you'd be dead by now.
If this were real, they wouldn't be able to do any of this shit in the first place. I'm not sure about the Earth Defense Force's combat training.
The aim of this practice is not to defeat your opponent.
Then what is it, sir?
To become stronger.
Right, to become stronger so that you can more easily defeat your opponent. I mean, when you're fighting for your life, I think the winning part's a little more important than sportsmanship. These two are Kazama and Ozaki, who are both members of the Mutant M organization, and there hasn't been this much homoerotic tension between two rivals since Top Gun.
Just remember one thing. In real combat, it's all about killing. If we don't have a conscience, how can we protect people? Your trouble is you're too soft.
Now get hard right in front of me, soldier. Enough of that. Ozaki's got to escort a biologist to investigate a new monster that's been discovered. Sure hope she's hot.
I think you'll find I'm not cranky at all.
There's a look that says, man, sure hope she didn't see the surveillance footage of me with Kazama earlier. This is Miyuki Otanashi, a biologist with the United Nations, and if you're having a hard time buying that, you're not alone.
Are you really a biologist? You look more like a model to me.
Alright, I also make a little bit of money from my Instagram page, but hey, even biologists gotta have a little side hustle. Despite Miyuki seeming to give Ozaki the cold shoulder, I think there's a bit of a vibe there.
Mutant babysitter. I think they made a good choice. Well, good luck on your mission.
He's jealous. Alright, let's see this monster you found.
We examined its outer envelope and found it to be over 12,000 years old.
But that's impossible, right?
Yeah, according to the Bible, the world's only 6,000 years old. In case you hadn't figured it out, this is Gigan, and in addition to being covered in paper mache, he also shares common DNA with the mutants of the M organization.
Human DNA, it has 4 bases. There's a 5th base which is particular to mutants. M base has been found in this monster's tissue.
Ozaki, seems you two are related. Say hi to your grandpa.
Totally ridiculous.
You know, Ozaki really shouldn't be surprised he's related to Gigan. I mean, his 23andMe report did say he was 40% Japanese, 32% parrot, and 28% table saw. Hey, Akira Takarada's in this movie. Not really sure why he's dressed like the architect from the Matrix sequels, but still nice to see him. Akira plays the new Secretary General of the United Nations, and I'll bet he's glad he got the job now and not when Godzilla blew up the UN and destroyed all monsters. Speaking of monsters, what else have they discovered about Gigan?
Look at this.
Infant Island?
The monster's name is Gigan.
Yeah, it's okay, girls. I already told people that. Well, it wouldn't be a 50th anniversary celebration without the Mothra twins making an appearance, even if it looks like they just came from Fern Gully instead of Infant Island. The twins explain that Mothra fought Gigan thousands of years ago.
Gigan was an evil entity, and today, the mutants have that evil in their blood cells. You must remember, you decide how you use your power, whether it's for good or evil.
If the mutants have evil in their blood cells, I think that kind of narrows it down.
As long as you remain friends of the Earth, then Mothra will remain your ally.
Alright, now you've got a way to summon Mothra for a cameo. All in all, this day's been pretty productive. Before Mothra can make an appearance, though, we need a cameo from another famous Japanese monster. Huh. Okay, I guess that's the end of Akira Takarada. Well, at least his suit looked nice. Uh-oh, this isn't a good sign. The last time a Godzilla movie was set in New York, fans didn't react very positively to it.
Come on, man, I ought to be talking for 5 minutes.
5 minutes, 5 seconds, doesn't freaking matter, because I'm gonna bust you up.
I'm looking at a dead man. Yo, what's up? This here and a hand cannon. I'll blow your ass all the way back to Jersey. Great! Go for it!
Okay, so I guess Japan thinks New York is permanently set in 1975. And also a Looney Tunes cartoon, apparently. Not to worry, New Yorkers, Roland Emmerich didn't direct this monster. Actually, I might have spoken too soon, since at the same time Rodan is attacking New York, Sydney gets attacked by none other than the 1998 Godzilla. Well, at least they dumped him on Australia this time. A lot of people have noted that the 98 Godzilla, or Zilla as he's sometimes called, is the only monster in the film to be brought to life using CGI, although that's not entirely true since a few of the other monsters are also computer generated for a few shots. Well, at least the real Godzilla isn't computer generated. Toho would never have a CGI Godzilla. For a little while, anyway. So, just like in Destroy All Monsters, several other monsters begin attacking locations all over the world. King Caesar attacks Okinawa, Kamacuras attacks Paris, and Shanghai is attacked by Anguillus.
Anguirus!
Yeah, whatever, same thing. Oh, and the Spiga, or Kumanga, or whatever, also attacks this jag off in the middle of nowhere. Damn, and that guy was just 2 days from renewing his Xbox Live membership for another year. At least this is the first Godzilla movie to acknowledge that Canadian cities exist, although they still seem to think we're not worthy of actually getting attacked. The Earth Defense Forces move in to try and take care of the monsters, and even though I'm okay with this movie imitating stuff like The Matrix, this guy's hair is reminding me a little too much of Battlefield Earth. Actually, you know what? This is more believable and less silly than Battlefield Earth. Oh, what? Don't tell me he's in this movie too! You just had to give Minya a cameo, didn't ya? Alright, well this is a Ryuhei Kitamura movie, so who knows, maybe this'll happen to him. Oh god damn it, he also brought a Kenny with him too!
No, Grandpa!
What the heck is that thing anyway?
Something I wish wasn't in this movie. Oh, thank God, we're back to something less frightening, like giant monsters destroying the Earth. At this point, I'll even take Ebera. Well, you can definitely tell Toho spent some extra cash on this movie, that's for sure. When you've got a giant lobster messing shit up, your only hope is some fashion models with bazookas. In a surprising choice, Ebera is actually given a decent amount of screen time in the first real extended monster sequence of the movie, and I gotta admit, it's actually pretty interesting to see a kaiju battle from the perspective of a few people on the ground, as opposed to the usual Godzilla trope of having a bunch of jets and tanks try to attack the monster. The M organization actually proves pretty effective, although that could be because Ebera ain't exactly the toughest Godzilla monster ever.
Sorry. I'm a vegetarian.
They are gonna have to work on their one-liners, though. Ebera suddenly disappears. I guess even he thought that line was lame. Actually, all of the monsters causing havoc across the world suddenly vanish, and soon after a giant spaceship appears in the sky. That's right, turns out aliens are responsible for the monsters attacking the Earth. Bet you didn't see that plotline coming. Hey, what's going on? So we ripping off Independence Day now, or what? At least the aliens brought Akira Takarada back. For a second there, I thought Ebera was gonna get more screen time than him.
I was in danger, but they rescued me.
What do you mean, they?
I guess you'd call them aliens.
What, from another planet?
No, from Mexico. Yes, from another planet! Not only do the aliens have advanced technology, but they're even more fashionable than the Earth Defense Team.
We have come in peace, have no fear. We have come from another solar system to bring you our friendship.
They're the bad guys. The aliens are called Exilians and are based off the aliens from Planet X seen in Godzilla vs. Monster Zero. They've gone from looking like members of Devo to something you'd see at an EDM fetish club. The Exilians explain that another planet is on collision course with Earth and they've come to help stop it.
There is only one way to stop the two planets from colliding. You must concentrate all your firepower on one point to intercept Gorth.
I don't know. Couldn't we just train a bunch of oil workers to be astronauts or something? The planet is named Gorath after a 1962 movie that was also about a rogue planet on collision course with Earth. However, that movie's walrus kaiju wasn't deemed worthy of a cameo. But just cause the world's in danger doesn't mean the Exilians can't have some fun on Earth.
And we're really excited to have an alien as our guest on the show today. Your name, sir, is
X.
Well, I'm gonna call you a douche.
My real name's too difficult, so I chose X. I chose it because I thought it expressed my origins well.
Plus, it's the only name I know how to spell. Even though there's now proof we're not alone in the universe, some people still really want to storm Area 51. However, the Earth Defense Force soon discovers something more sinister.
Look at his eyes.
You're right. The man doesn't blink his eyelids.
No, not like us human beings.
Well, that's not really proof that he's an alien. I mean, maybe he just has a really bad coke problem. Jeez, not only is Akira Takarada an alien, but so is Kumi Mizuno. No 60s Godzilla star is safe. Is there no end to the Exilians' deception?
Each photograph is a perfect copy of the others. It's unnatural. It's like some kind of holograph.
You mean to say Gorath doesn't exist?
See, this is how technology always goes. First there's a Tupac hologram at Coachella. Next thing you know, aliens are using a fake planet to try and take over the Earth. In order to deal with the Exilians, they turned to Don Fry, because unfortunately, George St. Pierre asked for too much money.
Nice work.
It's not quite what you think, Captain.
Okay, that was a weird music sting. By the way, in addition to being an MMA fighter, Don Fry was also a very popular professional wrestler in Japan, and Ryuhei Kitamura specifically sought him out for the role of Captain Gordon. I don't know, though. Having a wrestler appear just for name recognition is a little desperate, isn't it?
Hello, Internet. Oh God. I do not know how that alien voice actor does it. I mean, the glasses are cool, though. Hi, Internet. Professional wrestler, Godzilla fan, Simon Gotch. And Brandon, as you pointed out time and time again, old school kaiju battles really are just pro wrestling matches involving men in slightly more elaborate costumes, and at least in the case of Japan, avoiding only slightly more explosions. And when Ryuhei Kitamura was looking for a pro wrestler to fill the role of Captain Gordon, he looked no further than MMA and pro wrestling legend Don Fry. Fry, who's known for his many wonderful matches with the likes of Yoshihiro Takayama, Antonio Inoki, and my own close personal friend, former youngest UFC heavyweight champion of all time, Josh Barnett. He was the embodiment of America for this film. Just a big, hairy winning machine. A man who was willing to do anything it takes to win, including carrying around a sword for 90% of the movie, and I think he really only used it like once. But more importantly, he had a heavyweight champion, a kaiju-sized mustache that is second only to one man's in the universe. Bye, Internet!
I know a wrestler. Alright, time to take care of these alien fucks. First, Don Fry's gonna rough him up with his stand-up game, then take him out with an armbar. Or, you know, shooting him works too. They better stop the rest of the Exilians before they finish shooting an Asian version of The Fifth Element.
Don't play innocent. That's what you really are.
Holy shit, you mean the Exilians don't look exactly like humans? That makes a lot more sense, actually. Oh, and I guess the one with the J-pop hair is in charge now.
Your history stops here. From now on, you're cattle. Your one and only function is to be our food supply.
Damn it, I knew we should have read all of that To Serve Man book they gave us. Oh yeah, there's something else I want to mention. At least in the English dub, the Exilian leader has a really weird laugh. It's like he's auditioning to be the Joker, but hasn't decided on a laugh yet. Not only are the Exilians controlling the monsters, but they also take over the minds of all the M Organization members except Ozaki. I'm guessing he's immune because he's the only one with better hair than the Exilian leader. Even though this leads to another Matrix-style fight scene, this is still more realistic looking than the Burly Brawl. In fact, other than the part where the monsters first started attacking cities, so far this movie's concentrated more on action sequences involving the human characters. This feels less like a Godzilla movie and more like I'm watching Mission Impossible Tokyo Drift. Well, even if there aren't any monsters on screen, it is still pretty entertaining. Yeah, that's right. You just got bitch-slapped with a motorcycle, motherfucker. The Exilians also awakened Gigan, and I gotta admit, they gave him a pretty awesome redesign for this movie. Ryuhei Kitamura said that Gigan was one of his favorite Godzilla monsters, and even though he's always been one of the weirder kaiju out there, he actually looks pretty cool here. But as ridiculous as Gigan is, he's still not as over-the-top as the Exilian leader's introduction of him.
Gigan!
I love how the other Exilians are like, ugh, could this guy be more overdramatic? The other monsters all resume attacking the Earth too, and they even try making the poster to Cloverfield. Oh, damn it, why are we back to this? I was enjoying watching monsters destroy shit.
And we better take what's-his-name with us. Mila! I think I'll call him Mila.
Sure, kid, why should Mila Kunis and Mila Jovovich be the only Milas out there? With the entire world under attack, the remaining members of the Earth Defense Force decide to use the Gatengo. And to think they said that flying drill submarine program was a waste of taxpayer money. However, to take care of the Exilians, they're gonna need some help.
Our last hope is right here.
At the South Pole?
You mean you want to wake Godzilla?
Damn right he wants to wake Godzilla. We're halfway through and so far he's barely been in this movie. Hell, I think the 1998 version's gotten more screen time. Even if they can't wake Godzilla, Don Fry's got Mothra's caterpillar form waiting on his upper lip.
This final mission will decide the fate of the human race. This is Operation Final War.
Alright, looks like Thunderbird's Argo Tengo. Now it's time to try and save the world from a drag queen version of Leonard Nimoy. Man, it is hard to believe we're still only halfway through this movie. I mean, yeah, there hasn't been a whole lot of Godzilla, but a lot of shit's happened so far. In fact, with the Earth under attack and the Gotengo leaving to wake up Godzilla, if this were a mini-series, this feels like around the time where they put the to-be